right, Dallin?
Fingers crossed.
That's what Dallin's hurting for. I would say also, like, when he came out and the first thing that he wanted to do was, like, bring everybody together and pray, and then all the girls
beautiful
are swooning. I'm done.
Swoon.
This show has hit a new bottom.
I love it. I think it was great.
Have a
Can't wait
great
to do it
weekend,
again.
everybody.
Mike Krzyzewski is back on the Duke sideline just in the nick of time for his number 21 Blue Devils to square off with Wake Forest, which is looking to win at Cameron for the first time since Tim Duncan was patrolling the paint for the Demon Deacons. And with that, we say hello and thanks for joining us with Dan Bonner, Mike Monaco from our homes. And Dan, Duke eked out a win on Wednesday against Boston College without Coach K, thanks in large part to sophomore Wendell Moore.
Mike, you're right. They didn't bring Mike Krzyzewski, but they did bring Wendell Moore, and Wendell Moore was the key guy. He had 25 points. He made 2 3-point baskets. He had 4 rebounds. He had an assist. He had 3 steals. And so this young man, this is the kind of game they were hoping they had. He made this big shot at the end of the game that really helped seal the deal. And so they hope they have the same Wendell Moore today. And for Wake Forest, they're bringing Isaiah Musius. He's their leading scorer and rebounder. He's a young man who's had a very good year so far, has been hard to guard for ACC opponents, and Steve Forbes is certainly hoping Musius brings his best game with him today. It'll be important.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski missed the game on Wednesday. He was in quarantine, a positive test in the family. And Mike Krzyzewski back on this Duke sideline, went in to get tested at 6 a.m. today. Another negative test for him. He was at shoot-around with his Duke team and ready to go against Wake Forest.
Okay, actually, I lied. The tip is not at 12:05. It is right now. Welcome back, everybody. Happy 2021. And happy Duke basketball season because we're finally getting to play basketball games. Matthew Hurt is going to start the scoring off for the Blue Devils, the ACC's leading scorer at around 18.5 points per game. Gets it going early here with a nice turnaround jump shot that has become his signature go-to move. It is 2 points for Matthew early, and Wake Forest comes up empty on their first possession. On the floor for the Blue Devils this afternoon, Jeremy Roach, Matthew Hurt, DJ Stewart, and Mark Williams, and Jay Gold, as Williams tries to get it down low and is stripped of the ball here. Both Duke and Wake Forest incredibly prolific on the defensive end when it comes to steals, and we're finally going to get a jump ball here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into all the Duke fans here in 2021. By the way, this is on the ACC Network. If you need help getting the broadcast, jump into the Discord. The link for the Discord is in the description. You can watch the game along with us there. It should be streaming without any issues, and if there are issues, let me know. But otherwise, the YouTube side of things will stay on for discussion, chat, and apparently the announcers aren't actually in Cameron Indoor. They're completely remote, so this is really no different than the actual broadcast anyway. For the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, Davian Williamson, Jonah Antonio, Carter Witt, who is an interesting story about Carter Witt we'll get to in a second, as Wake Forest gets its first bucket there. Number 35, Carter Witt, apparently graduated high school on like December 18th and then played his first game at Wake Forest on December 31st. I have no idea how that actually happens, as Matthew Hurt drills it from the outside. It's a sensational start for Hurt. Again, averaging around 18 points per game. He's got 5 in the first 2 minutes here. Yeah, I don't know how you go from graduating high school. 5-2 at the moment. I don't actually recall who scored for Wake. We'll get that stat here. I'll just give it to Musius. Why not? We'll get that stat corrected in a second. I don't know. He's on the line. He's on the line. Stepped out of bounds. Turnover by Wake Forest. Coach K is back in the house today. taking the reins back from assistant coach John Shire, who led the Blue Devils, or coached the Blue Devils, to a heart-stopping win, I think you would call it, 83-82 against Boston College on Wednesday. Apologies that we weren't on the air on Wednesday, as I was flying back from the East Coast here to back to Seattle. Jeremy Roach driving in there, but Mark Williams is going to recover the offensive board and unfortunately going to go out of bounds off his knee. So turnover to Wake Forest there. Yes, it has been a while since we've had a Duke game. Well, Wednesday, but before that it was 3 weeks, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't think that's ever, at least in my time watching Duke, I can't remember. Even like usually the December break, they'll do finals and then they'll like have maybe a week, or they'll have the week to do like the final exams, and then they'll come back after everybody's off campus, and then you basically just do a few games. When we were doing the student, when we were in charge of the student seating in Cameron, those games over the holidays were always available to folks to come in and actually stand in the student section. So if you're ever in and around Durham during the holiday time, that's actually the best time to get a seat, quote-unquote seat, more like a standing spot in Cameron. It's about $90 for a general admission ticket in the student section over the holidays, and actually kind of widely available too. They don't usually sell those out. So if you're ever around the Durham area, or you're trying to find a time to go to Cameron, that's the best time to do it, assuming you're okay with not sitting down for the entire game. So as I mentioned, jump into the Discord if you actually need the game itself here. We are broadcasting it on that side. Got to keep it off the YouTube, obviously, for copyright reasons. Louisville #1 in the ACC, yes. I think what's now at 3-0, 4-0 for Louisville. I was watching one of their games over the holiday. They look good. They definitely look like a strong seasoned team. Duke did not look very sharp at the start of the Boston College game. That's what a 20-day layoff will do to you there, as Carter Witt is going to hit for 2 here, and it's 6-5 as the Demon Deacons have kind of flipped the script here on the Blue Devils. Matthew Hurt still really the only one that's gotten any production from Duke, and that could have been called an offensive foul with a bit of a chicken wing. But Matthew Hurt does manage to get around his defender. He now has 7 points, all 7 of Duke's points here in the early going. 16:25 on the clock here in the first half, as Jeremy Roach is picking up Carter Witt at full court. Demon Deacons trying to get this ball down low, have to swing it back outside. Swing it way outside, actually, and that is going to be Isaiah Mucius there for 3, and he is going to connect. It is 9-7, and I'll get the stats correct on the Wake Forest side at the under 16 media timeout. Roach around the outside. Brakefield is now in the game. Goldwire playing point for the Blue Devils, as Wake Forest in a man-to-man. Hurt thought about 3. It's 8 seconds on the shot clock here, as back to DJ Stewart trying to make it happen, and Stewart with a beautiful runner there in the lane. Stewart is going to get his first 2 points, 9-all, Duke and Wake. Carter Witt playing point here for Wake Forest. Had a really good first game. 11 points in about 25 minutes for the Demon Deacons. A bit of a spark off the bench, who are a bit injury-plagued this season. Another beautiful steal by Goldwire, and he's going to take it the distance here. Goldwire behind the back pass to DJ Stewart. Yes, little fancy there. I had to wait for a second because I was like, wow, Duke is really going to blow this play, as DJ's got 4 points. That's the first highlight play of the day, as Duke brings the double trap and almost comes up with the ball. Wake Forest has managed to recover. Jacoby Heath back outside, and Mucius handing this one off. A drive in the lane by Williamson is good. Davian Williamson scoring 2 for Wake, as it is 11-all.
One thing that has to be a little concerning for the
Still no media timeout, no real whistles actually. Nobody's been fouled, I don't think. Matthew Hurt's going to put up 3 from the wing, and that's going to be his first missed shot. Good recovery here, though. DJ Stewart taps it out, and Goldwire is going to come up with it, who rushed it but took it anyway. Jordan Goldwire for 2 points. I thought he probably could have just run some time off the clock, but Duke aggressive on the offensive glass. That is actually really nice to see, because the first half against against Boston College was a turnover nightmare, and Duke and Wake actually no real turnovers to speak of. I think we've maybe have stolen the ball once from Wake, but definitely Duke looking a lot sharper here as we have hit the first commercial break. Welcome in, everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. If you're on the West Coast like me, it is a very bright and early 9 o'clock. We are having, I just had my breakfast. I suppose if you're a strict coffee drinker, you're having your coffee and with the Blue Devils here. Tea works. I just got water for the time being. For Christmas, look, Megan's saying for Christmas I got a Duke shirt. Nice. That is awesome. A lot of Duke swag going around. Usually we'll do giveaways closer to NCAA tournament time. We did some jersey giveaways last year. That was a lot of fun for folks who had either were following us on Twitch or subscribed on the YouTube side of things. But as I mentioned, jump into I think the Discord should be up and running without issue here. So if you do need help on getting the game itself, jump into the Discord and then come back on the YouTube side and join us there for the conversation. So far, so good for our Blue Devils here. Let me just pull up the live stats. I'm actually going to hit that and record. Yep. All right. Good, that helped me do some highlights later. All right, let's fix I said we would fix the stats here for, it actually is Mucius with, 5 points, 2 points for Okwama. That's the one I'm missing. Yep, I have him. Carter Witt with 2, and Williamson with 2. All right, so we are actually correct as far as our stats go, as our point stats go.
You can choose any workout you want to fit with your time frame.
Let's see.
There are a ton of 0-point foods that I love. I never feel
I actually thought John Shire did a pretty good job the other night, being put into what I would consider a very difficult situation, to having to coach the team in just a bizarre sort of set of circumstances. He said multiple times that this is not how I thought my first head coaching gig would go, and I don't blame him. I was going to bring out the John Shire jersey if he was coaching again today, but he is not, as Coach K is back on the sideline here, and for some reason my notes are not working. Both my favorite basketball teams are playing Duke. Oh, playing Duke and the Miami Heat. Nice, Megan. Yeah, I was actually in Miami over the holidays. I have to say, the new Miami Heat jerseys there with the whole court layout I'm a fan. It's actually pretty sensational. It looks straight out of like a GTA video game, which I'm sort of partial to. I just think it's funny. In any case, we're back here, 14-15, 14-15 on the clock, 13-11, Duke ahead. Both Duke and Wake Forest have had significant schedule disruptions. People are saying, well, Duke had this 20-day layoff. Actually, Wake Forest, in the month of December, had 6 scheduled games. They played 1. So another team that has had 5 games either canceled or postponed due to the COVID issues, and Jamin Brakefield, that was a home call, because Brakefield diving there for the ball. I think he was on the line, but in any case, it's a turnover by Wake, and Duke comes up with the steal. I want to see a bit more out of Brakefield. Didn't really have as much of an impact in the BC game. Of course, the star of that game, Wendell Moore, who has yet to take the floor today. I was wondering if he would actually get a starting nod. He does not, so Wendell Moore going to come off the bench again. But yeah, 25 points for Moore, a career high against Boston College, matching a game against Georgia Tech from last year in the where he scored 25 points as well. Wake Forest shot by Neath is way off, and Duke with a run out there as Matthew Hurt now has 9 points to lead all scorers and lead the Blue Devils here 15-11.
Matthew Hurt with 9 so far of the 15
It's
for Duke.
Hurt here who is just picking up right where he left off. And there is Carter Witt from Wake Forest. Bit of an isolation play there. Not much ball movement, but he gets 2 more. What happened to Coach K? Coach K was quarantined, was COVID quarantined. Oh my God, Matthew Hurt he's got 2 Wake Forest defenders on him. He says, "I don't care," and scores again. 11 points for Matthew Hurt. Basically, there was a member of Coach K's family who was not part of like the Duke bubble or however they like put it together, and that particular person was positive for COVID, and so Coach K, with following the team protocols, had to quarantine for 10 days. I don't think Coach K himself was positive, as Duke, that was a bad turnover. Duke turns it over, and Wake tries to go coast to coast and can't come up with it. A strong foul there by Wendell Moore, who is now into the game, as that is the first foul by either team, I do believe. And we have hit the under 12 timeout. We'll continue with the Coach K story. Basically, so Coach K had to stay in quarantine. As a result, he could not coach. He had to address the team via Zoom. He was not actually going to be able to coach the Florida State game either. Remember that Duke last Wednesday, so not the, what was it, the 5th or whatever this Wednesday was, but the week before, was scheduled to go play, or was it a Saturday? Whatever. They were scheduled to go play at Florida State. The team actually flew down to Tallahassee before the game itself was canceled due to positive COVID tests in the Florida State program. So that game never happened, but Coach K didn't actually travel with the team because he was in quarantine. So John Shire would have coached that game as well. But he ends up only having to coach the BC game because that game actually went off. And so it seems like Duke can only manage to play games in Cameron Indoor Stadium, although we do have the win against Notre Dame on the road. So, yeah, I actually did not get to see the end of the BC game. I was on an airplane, so how many fans do they allow at Duke? Oh, Scott, so on the link in the video description should be a link to the Discord, and then you can join us on the Discord. Jump in there, and you can get you can see the stream there. Yeah, there are no fans allowed in Cameron right now. Although Duke has, I believe, resumed the academic semester, so there would be students on campus, but nobody is allowed in Cameron at all. So, yeah, Duke and Wake Forest, this is always an interesting one. While I was back there in grad school, I had a good friend who did the student section management with us, was a Wake Forest undergrad, and so this game was always fun to do with him. We actually took a trip to Wake Forest when Duke played there on the road. That was the game that Luke Kennard went off and hit the game winner. This was in 2017, I believe. So, Skylark, welcome back in. Let's go, Duke. It's time to get our comeback. Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? So a lot of Wake Forest folks like to call this a rivalry, NC State fans also like to call Duke NC State a rivalry. To be honest, I don't know why either team does that, because the only real rivalry is Duke UNC, and I guess the other teams just try to pretend that they're somehow relevant in this whole thing. But yeah, it is a revenge match. But in any case, Duke leads the overall series against Wake Forest by 174 to 79. So it's like far and away, this isn't even close. Like Duke UNC, at least it's close. And right, you always have that stat that ESPN posts up. Within the last 20 games, they're within 2 points of each other, that kind of thing. Yeah, the Demon Deacons are just it's way off. The Wake Forest hasn't won in Cameron since 1997, which is which is a long time. 23 years by my quick math. Is Duke and Virginia rivalry? Technically not, no, either. Duke and UVA, oh, if you can't hear sound in Discord, I might just try to do the share screen instead. Let's try to
they played their first game tonight. And here was Carter going up against the pack line.
Sometimes if you share the application, it doesn't work, but if you share the screen, it does. So maybe that will fix it.
How many would you have scored in your high school game? And he said, "Oh, I'd have had 30."
Otherwise, I don't really know.
An excellent player who was.
It's 2 more points there for Witt. And it's 15 Wake, 17 Duke. So hopefully that fixed the sound. It's the same setup I've used in the past. But Duke UVA isn't technically a rivalry. It's just a very good basketball game. I would call it just a really, really high quality basketball game, which has been since really for the past several years with UVA's really tough defense. So, as far as as long as Tony Bennett's at UVA, it's always going to be a good basketball game there. Yeah, but in any case, the Duke D and Duke Wake Forest matchup a little lopsided.
They only have 3 turnovers so far in the first 9 minutes.
And Wake Forest, yes, looking for its first win since 1997, although they do manage to beat us when we go to Wake Forest, as was mentioned in chat. The bit of a disaster last year. I mean, we streamed that one live. It was a bit of a bizarre game. Like, we just walked into that game sleepwalking, basically. And because the game right before or right after was the Carolina game. And, like... And we just lost again. It was like 2 consecutive losses. It was just bad. It was just bad. It was like this like train wreck that unfolded before your eyes, and you're like, wow, that's a disappointment.
A guy who's similar to Matthew
Oguama at the line here for Wake Forest gets the first. 3 points for him so far on the afternoon. Matthew Hurt did suffer from some foul trouble. 4 fouls. He was managing 4 fouls late in the game against BC.
If you're going to play slowly, you're going to have to score
lost to
some
Illinois.
on the inside, particularly
Mizzou avenged us. Oh, man.
And Oguama's ability to do that.
Well, Illinois, a good team. Actually, Michigan State, also a pretty good team. As we're tied up here, 17-all. Unfortunately, Duke here in a battle early. Not being able to put really their stamp on this game whatsoever. Jordan Goldwire, a beautiful floater there in the lane. He's going to get his 4th points. His 4th points of the afternoon. 10:23 to go on the afternoon. Jordan Goldwire playing exceptionally well for Duke here at the point. A couple quick stats on Goldwire. He had, that's a Wake Forest 3-pointer there. And that's going to be by Joan Antonio. 3 points for Wake as they now lead 20-19. Goldwire's 12 points for his BC, but it's not really his point production so much as Jeremy Roach travels. So that's a turnover. We'll get to the turnovers and Jeremy Roach here in a second. It's really Goldwire's defensive presence. 2.7 steals per game here leads the ACC. He's actually ranked 15th nationally, which is pretty significant. So the forcing of the Boston College turnovers really kept us sort of in it in that first half, which by all accounts was just a messy half of basketball. And of course, you kind of imagine that would happen after a long hiatus, but Duke coming up with another steal here. Great look by Matthew Hurt to get it outside to Goldwire, who doesn't want to pull the trigger on this. Wake Forest does manage to recover on defense, and that is going to be a reach-in foul by Carter Witt. Easy call there, as Wendell Moore was trying to get position. Wendell Moore was trying to get position down low on the block. Didn't Wake lose by 20 against? So yeah, Wake is coming off it was 16. Wake is coming off 2 consecutive road losses, which is their 0-2 ACC record here. They lost 70-54 against Wake Forest, and that's a quick shot by Wake, and that's not going to go as a held ball is called. The possession arrow will award it back to the Blue Devils. And then they lost actually a closer game against UVA, 70-61. Both of those games were on the road. But yes, for now, Wake Forest coming in at 0-2, but they can definitely play. I mean, there's like really no shame in losing to UVA, like at UVA. That's a beautiful shot by DJ Stewart, and he's got 3 from the top of the key there. 22-20, Duke ahead. I mean, yeah, like you hold UVA to 70 points. In order to beat UVA, one of our co-commentators, Russman, says that you have to score at least 70 points. So defensively, they got it right. Offensively, they were a bit short there as Jeremy Roach almost comes up with a steal, and they might be able to get the double team trap, but they don't. Wake Forest gets this up, and Antonio shoots a brick that just goes off. It was almost an air ball, but not quite. It doesn't even hit the rim, but it hits the opposite side of the backboard, and that is out on Wake, giving it back to Duke. Duke is not going to be ranked either. Actually, Duke will stay in the rankings. Duke currently ranked 21st. Assuming a win here today, there's really no reason to move Duke down. There really isn't any reason to move Duke up just yet. 2 wins against unranked teams don't really shuffle you that much, but there's no reason to move Duke down. And I think we can all admit Duke does need some work. So that Duke's defense needing probably the most work out of all of it, which is probably true. They did manage to turn up defensively a little bit in the second half against BC. But there is the Jordan Goldwire stat that we reviewed earlier on the broadcast here, 2.7 steals per game. Oh man, Jerry Roach with the 3-pointer from the left wing. That is halfway down and bounces out. I thought that shot was going to go. Good defense by Goldwire asking for the help, and they're going to bail Wake Forest out with a foul. That should have been a turnover. Duke should have come up with that one, but the refs will blow the whistle and bail out Wake here. Yeah. And we have hit the 8-minute timeout. It is 22 Blue Devils, 20 Demon Deacons. DJ Stewart currently with 7 points. Jordan Goldwire with 4, and Matthew Hurt with 11. Oddly enough, Matthew Hurt's been a little quiet these last 4 minutes. He did all his scoring right off the get. But yeah, only 3 Blue Devils have actually scored. It's a bit concerning. You'd like to see them spread the love around a bit more. On the other side of the ledger, you got 5 Demon Deacons so far with points. Isaiah Mucius with 5, Davian Williamson with 2, Antonio with 3. Oguama with 4, and Carter Witt, their newest addition to the team, with 6. Yeah, so if the Discord sound isn't working, I don't know why that's the case. I don't think I have a particular answer either, unfortunately. Try to turn the sound up a little bit, but that just might be one of the limitations of the actual system. Oh, I had it sharing the actual. All right, let's go back to the other way. So frame rate, yes. Well, okay, let's try it that way. Also, it gives me an error or something about Windows 10 not being available and the sound share not working if you don't have that. So at some point, I will need to upgrade this whole setup. Charles Chen, welcome in chat. Let's go Duke. Absolutely. Let's get our Blue Devils another win here so far, starting off the ACC 2-0. Granted, they didn't have to play Florida State, and we didn't have to play Pittsburgh. I fully think we would have handled Jeff Capel's Pittsburgh team. Florida State's its own story, though. They're always a tough out, and you expect them to be there at the end. Of course, they are the reigning ACC champions, even though that championship game was technically not played, and Duke would have had something to say about it last year. But still, they own the ACC crown. So as far as until they are deposed of it, they are still the reigning ACC champions there in Florida State. And Leonard Hamilton always fields a very, very competitive team. Nothing but respect for that program. So back to the game here at hand. Oh, if they're having a bit of a down year, then that's great, because I would love to not have to worry about Florida State, because somehow they always seem to have our number. Now, granted, they did have 3 first-round picks in the NBA draft, right? So there was a ton of loaded talent, loaded NBA talent at Florida State last year, and so if they are having a bit of a down year, then perhaps it has something to do with that. Well, let's see. Jaden saying, let's see, Brakefield gets some minutes. I agree. He wasn't really in the stat sheet all that much as I was reviewing the game against BC. I was limited in actually watching the game, limited to just my phone having to watch in that game. But Duke setting the trap here and will come up with the steal. Brakefield actually comes up with it. There we go. Great minutes here for Brakefield as Matthew Hurt is going to key off the offense for Duke, giving it back to Goldwire, out to Jeremy Roach. Hurt trying to set the screen, and all right, so good play by Brakefield on the defensive end, bad play on the offensive end as he just throws it out of bounds, trying to get DJ Stewart, and just a miscommunication there. Turnover for Duke. We'll see if Coach K decides to put him on the bench after that one. And Jordan Goldwire almost comes up with another steal, but the ball going out of bounds there. On the subject of the turnovers, it was an extremely messy first half against Boston College. We were saying that, so Jeremy Roach, 5 assists, but also 5 turnovers, has to take better care of the ball, although the primary ball handling responsibilities seem to be in the hands of Goldwire. There's another steal by Brakefield, and this is going to be a foul against Wake Forest. Wake Forest Oguama is going to foul Brakefield, so no chance for a run out, but good defensive minutes from Brakefield. So Jalen Johnson, good question, SBrute66. According to Coach Shire's post-game comments after BC, which was on Wednesday, Jalen Johnson was to be reevaluated by team doctors on Thursday. He has not participated, as far as I know, he has not, at that time, he had not yet participated in any contact drills in practice, as here we get Jeremy Roach with 2 points, so 24 for the Blue Devils. But Coach Shire did say that he was at practice, he was passing the ball, he just wasn't actually moving around, cutting or doing any of the drills themselves. So from what we know, there was a reevaluation at least on Tuesday, but he has been progressing. This game was out. Shire said that there's no shot that he would actually play this game. So the fact that he's not here isn't a surprise. Not in the lineup isn't a surprise. He was not slated to play this game at all. Wouldn't have been considered for it. Now we have to see what the next game is on Tuesday and see if there's a possibility for him for that one. If we're to sort of believe, if history is to be believed, the way that the Duke program likes to handle these injuries is incredibly slow played. Right? We can think about the Zion Williamson took long to come back from injuries. So I think they're going to slow play this. I don't think he comes back on Tuesday. I would probably give him at least another week, assuming that the reevaluation was positive, and then they clear him for contact drills and actual practice. I would give it about a week after they do that, and then we say, okay, then we probably have a shot to seeing Jalen Johnson back. I don't know if we I would say, yeah, he comes back this season. It's not like he's out forever. So, yeah. On the screen, why does it say Jalen Johnson or Wake Forest and Duke? On which screen is that? I mean, on my scoreboard, Jalen Johnson is still in my he's not going to come up with 0. He's going to come up with 0 points, but I just keep him there for the to keep it consistent between games. Wake Forest inbounding here, baseline out of bounds, and they have to go the basically 3/4 court to get it in. 6 minutes still here in the first. Pretty good, decent half of basketball from both teams. And the 3-pointer here from Wake Forest, that shot's good. Davian Williamson from Wake Forest going to get his, actually, that's his first 3-pointer. He's got 5 points. 25-24, 4 ties, 7 lead changes so far in this game. Decent pace, not a lot of fouling. As DJ Stewart's going to go for 3, and that shot's going to go wide. Wake Forest going to come up with the rebound here, and Mucius going to come down the court. He's got 7 points so far tonight. It's a quick 3-pointer by Wake Forest out of the corner there. That's Masood, who can't come up with it, and Duke is going to fight for the offensive board, and Jordan Goldwire is going to come up with it, and Goldwire is going to come up, and he's going to miss, actually, as DJ Stewart can't clean up the boards, and Mucius comes up with it for Wake Forest. That was a completely missed opportunity for Duke. And that is really sad, because that was an easy 2. Wow, Duke going to have to play defense again. On the floor for the Blue Devils currently, Goldwire, Roach, Stewart, Brakefield, and more, as Brakefield comes up with a rebound. Good size down low, boxing out his Wake Forest offender there. Wendell Moore quiet tonight. Career high 25 points the other night against Wake Forest. Duke needed every point of it. Before the Wake Forest game, Wendell Moore was 1 of 22 shooting this season, and Goldwire is going to take a 3 from the left wing, and that shot is beautiful. Jordan Goldwire with the 3 has 7 points there, puts Duke back in front, 27-25. Yeah, Jaden in chat's got it right. The Goldie and his layups here, and here's another steal by Brakefield, actually. Great defensive play, and Duke, with a beautiful behind-the-back pass. That was about to be a highlight play before Wake Forest fouled Brakefield as he was going strong. Damn. DJ Stewart with an incredible behind-the-back pass on the breakaway to Brakefield, who could have just thrown this down. Brakefield, great active hands. This is about his 2nd or 3rd steal so far in the first half. Oh, this was going to be beautiful. Mucius is going to get a foul, though, and Brakefield... No, Duke's just going to inbound it, and Duke's going to come up with a 3-pointer. Jeremy Roach with a 3-pointer. So Duke with back-to-back 3-pointers, and now picking it up on the defensive end as well. Jeremy Roach, Duke picking up Wake Forest full court as Roach deflects a ball here, but we have hit the under 4 timeout, so we're going to take a pause. Much improved shooting. So there was another... I was literally on the plane watching this Wake Forest game on my phone, and there was one of these runouts that Goldwire has, and he misses the layup again, and I almost throw my phone at the seat in front of me because I couldn't believe it. And I immediately texted my other Duke friends. I was like, "Is doing it again?" There was last year there was at least 2 or 3 layups in big games, and you're just like, I can't believe he misses the layups. It's crazy. But yeah, his shooting has improved, and defensively, he's really good. So a bit of a pass, but he has to improve in the layup line, I guess. Yeah, 30-25 is the current score. Duke in the lead. Again, if you need help getting the game itself, jump over to the Discord and join us there that's where you can find the game there, and then jump in on the YouTube here on the conversation as we join our fellow Duke fans. But yeah, so again, still only 4 Blue Devils actually on the score sheet. Stewart with 7, Roach with 5, Goldwire with 7, and Matthew Hurt with 11. All of Hurt's points came in the first 4 minutes. He hasn't done anything since. But let me just double check the stats if he's actually out because of foul trouble. I feel like we haven't seen much of him on the floor even. Could be because he has 2 fouls. I haven't quite... Yeah, he does. I haven't quite kept up with the foul count. It's 2 that's why. So it's 2 personal fouls for Hurt. 2 personal fouls for Wendell, who hasn't scored yet, and 2 personal fouls for Mark Williams, who was in the starting lineup, but hasn't scored either. We really need to see more consistency out of Wendell for sure, though. Like, his points were big. We know that he's come up clutch in games. The UNC game from last year being prime example number 1 of clutch Wendell. But yeah, we just need to, like, if he could give us 10 points a game, that would be enormous. Like, tremendous to have a consistent scorer, especially a sophomore that knows what they're doing. It would be tremendous if we could get 10 points a game out of him. It like totally changes the complexion of the team. Because otherwise, we're still like doing this whole like, oh, we're being run by 5 freshmen thing. Here we go again. Is Tepe out today? Yes, Tepe hasn't seen the floor at all. I believe he was also out for the BC game, but I don't actually know the exact reason. Joey Baker now in, and that should be a charge. Okay, nope, they're going to call a blocking foul on Brakefield, actually. I thought he was there. Does Wake Forest have a player named Jalen Johnson? Yes, they do. He doesn't play, though. Or he hasn't played. I could probably just get rid of that line. But yes, they do. It's weird. Ismail Masood there gets a point at the line. He's actually like local, and by local I mean he's like from North Carolina, which is sort of funny. But yes, not to be. It would have been really funny if like, sometimes when the names get when there's like same name of players and you actually have fans, the crazies will do like funny chants around like our Johnson is better than your Johnson. Like there definitely would have been a sign in Cameron today with like our Jalen Johnson like bit better than your Johnson or something like that. Somebody would have made a sign like that, like for sure. Just great patience by Wendell here. The pump fake gets Wake Forest and actually Jalen Johnson from Wake Forest is on the floor. That's who the foul is on. So Wake Forest's Jalen Johnson gets caught in the air as Wendell is going to get this free throw, and that's his first points of the afternoon. James from Fort Worth, Texas, welcome in all the Blue Devil fans here to the stream as Wendell's going to get his second. Appreciate everybody joining us here as this should be a 2. There you go. Happy New Year. Happy 2021 to everyone as Duke is now up 32-26. Duke looking to build on the lead on the game and the win against Boston College there as Carter Witt is going to go ISO against Brakefield and come up better for it. 8 points for Witt so far in the afternoon as we are 3 minutes to go here in the first. Duke looking a bit more proficient on offense than they did in that game against BC. Fewer turnovers, a better ball movement. Wendell Moore trying the step back fadeaway once again from the left wing. Didn't go for him that time. And Wake Forest, and here's Wake Forest. Jalen Johnson is going to take a 3 from the left wing, and that's going to come up just long. Duke recovers there with the rebound. On the floor for the Blue Devils, it is Stewart, Roach, Brakefield, Goldwire, and Moore. And this is a good look from Roach to Moore, but unfortunately Moore can't handle the pass. And Masood is going to shoot for 3 and hit. Ismail Masood there from Wake Forest gets a 3, and the lead is down to 1. Actually, this game has been played within 2 possessions the majority of the game. I think our largest lead really is only 4 points there. An incredible jump stop by Stewart. My God, that looked like an NBA move. And he gets 2 more. 9 points on 4 of 6 shooting for DJ. Holy. Cody, welcome into chat as well. What's good is currently the Blue Devils are up. Although that hasn't really been, it's been touch and go here. There's a closeout there by Brakefield to run the 3-point shooter off the line. And Wake Forest's Carter Witt is going to step out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover by Wake. Yeah, that last play by Wake was actually pretty good. Hits the trailing 3-point shooter there. Masood's in rhythm, just drops it in. That's a tough one in transition. Brakefield fakes the screen, tries to post up, and it's actually going to be Stewart going to try for 3 there. 1 and done for the Blue Devils on the offensive side for that possession. Well, Cody, we're going to talk about that at halftime. That's a bit of a longer discussion. And honestly, there haven't been that many Duke games. We've only played 6. We should have played 11 by this point, but 5 of our games have been canceled / postponed to COVID. None of the games that have been quote postponed have yet been rescheduled. We have a timeout here for Wake Forest, so we have a bit of a time. Perhaps we have some time to discuss that now. The non-conference games, recall, will not be rescheduled. They're just essentially wiped out the calendar. We will have to reschedule Florida State and Pitt. It would be my guess to get all the ACC games in. The team so far, they've looked young. The long layoff between games hasn't helped them. I think also the lack of actual game time. I think the 3 non-conference games that we did not get to play have been detrimental to the development of the team, especially with such young players trying to get things in rhythm and trying to get familiar with each other at game speed. It's one thing to practice against yourselves. It's another thing entirely to actually go out there and execute at game speed. So at times the team has looked young. I think some of the turnovers and the offensive miscues, there's plays that like balls just get thrown out of bounds and you're just like, what? Like, why? Like that just doesn't even make sense. And I think that's all derived from just a lack of playing time. So the 3 games missed, especially in the non-conference, haven't helped that at all, because those are usually kind of tune-up games, right? You usually play like 7, 8, maybe 10 non-conference games before you jump into your conference schedule. We had like 3. And like they were against really good, and 2 of those are against Michigan State and Illinois. So you're like expected to be ready to go against veteran teams. It's just not going to happen, right? Like the losses to Michigan State and Illinois make sense. Like we played them hard, but it just like Duke isn't at the stage to do that, right? The season that is effectively shortened because of the COVID nonsense, and is really sort of favoring those teams that have these veteran players that don't need to, like, they know how to play college basketball, right? You don't need to teach them how to play college ball. Let's see, is Duke here now by 1? And we'll get to Chet here in a second as Jeremy Roach is going to turn the ball over. No, he's not! Oh my goodness, what a play by DJ Stewart. What in the world? What a circus shot as Stewart saves that possession. A totally busted play. Jeremy Roach, this was effectively a turnover, and DJ Stewart, the athleticism. Wow. That is sensational. And it's not even over. It's an and 1, actually. Turnaround prayer. Hashtag calculated. That was cool. That's the best play we've seen so far today. DJ Stewart, the human highlight reel. If it's not a dunk, it's that craziness. Yes, he does get the and 1. 12 points to lead all scorers, eclipsing the 11 from Matthew Hurt here. As Carter Witt from Wake Forest. It's about a 7-second game clock, shot clock differential. So Duke will have an opportunity here, assuming no rebound by Wake, and they're going to call a charge. Henry Coleman into the game. Draws the charge from Wake Forest. Let's check the replay. Yes, he is in position. He is outside of the restricted area. He has his feet set. That's a good call. That's a great play by Henry Coleman. Now the Blue Devils are going to have 23 seconds actually on the clock. Coach K calling timeout here. It's a use it or lose it timeout. Anyway, may as well call it. And going to draw up a play for Duke. Hopefully another bucket right before we go into the locker room. Let's see. Let's catch up. Yeah, Louisville, 1 game canceled, 1 game postponed. So both Duke and Wake Forest have had 5 games apiece, either canceled or postponed. South Carolina has had 6. Those are the top 3. If we're taking stats on everything because it's 2021, the stat for most games canceled or postponed, South Carolina with 6 at number 1, and then Wake Forest at Duke both with 5. So Duke in the top 3 in that category. All right, final possession here of the first half. Goldwire and Stewart are going back and forth. No, Roach and Stewart's going to go in the corner. He was open for that shot. It's an offensive rebound by Goldwire, and the 3 by Jeremy Roach here at the buzzer. Oh, can't quite go. Good look, though. It was a good look. We had a good look there at the top of the key by Roach there at the very end. The first shot by Stewart was actually open too, just couldn't knock it down, unfortunately. And we are at half, 37-33, Duke Blue Devils and Wake Forest Demon Deacons. All right. Brakefield losing the T-shirt under the jersey. Yeah, a decent first half by this year's standards. I do sort of agree with that. It is nice to It is nice to not be down 16. Let's put it that way. I feel pretty good about this one. When I was watching the BC game, I had friends texting me. I was like, Duke isn't going to lose this game, but it's not going to be pretty. And it definitely wasn't there. The 16-point comeback against Boston College, the biggest comeback in a Duke game since 2018, which was the comeback against Louisville. The Reddish, Barrett, and Zion Williamson game, which was pretty tremendous there. So we do have a bit of a pause for the time being, as we are at halftime. Should be about 15 minutes. So that will be 10:05 Seattle time, 1:05 Eastern time to resume. For folks, if you want to go grab a drink or a snack, we're not going anywhere. I don't have commercials, so I don't get to I don't get to go anywhere. So I'm happy. So feel free to chat it up in chat as we will review we'll review some of the first half stats here, and take a look at what we have got. I want to check mainly want to check the team stats. We'll start there and kind of work our way through. 3-point, all right, let's see. What stands out to us so far? Just off the cuff, Duke ahead 37-33 here. Duke shooting about 54% from the field. Wake Forest at 48. So both teams pretty good. Wake Forest just has had less shots. They're 10 of 21 to Duke's 15 of 28, although they have shot more free throws. Wake Forest 9 of 10 from the free throw line, so actually keeping themselves in it. Duke 3 of 3. At least we've hit all of ours. We really struggled against Boston College from the free throw line. My God, it was like 15 of 25. Like, that was like absurd. Like, 15 of 25 is a horrific free throw shooting. Cody, are you asking if I'm a Duke grad? Yes, I am a 2-time Duke grad, actually. Undergrad in 2012 and Fuqua in 17, if I can. It's been a while. Yes, so yeah. And then while I was there for grad school, myself and then some of the other folks that sometimes do guest appearances for the commentary, we were the graduate student basketball committee. So we managed all of student activities for Duke basketballs for all the graduate schools across all of Duke. Whether it was law school, med school, business school, physical therapy, environmental sciences, or just PhD, we did all of it. So everything from ticketing to actual game day operations to the yearly camp out, we got to manage that, and so we were always at the Duke games. So that was a fun set of years there. Did Stewart play the whole first half? We can figure that out. We were going through team stats, but we'll jump over there for a second. So in the minutes category, Jordan Goldwire with 19. Currently, DJ Stewart so both Stewart and Goldwire played 19 minutes. Jeremy Roach played 18, so I guess they sat out for like 30 seconds or something. And I guess we're being asked in chat if we want to take Texas or West Virginia. Let's take a look at the college basketball slate for the day. Oh, nice. Cody's saying he was bored at Duke. No. So that river shot, I remember exactly where I was. That was my senior year of undergrad. That was a crazy shot that just like couldn't believe that one actually happened. Looks like we're getting some highlights from NC State Miami, and my ESPN is incredibly slow to load. Oh man, come on. Come on, ESPN. Well, to be fair, I'm like streaming like 3 things at the same time. There's only so far the internet can take us. I'll probably just pull it up on my phone, it's easier. Assuming it would even work. Wow, I can't even. Oh, there's NCAA men. It's like buried. Yeah, Texas. So number 4. So the game they're referring to is number 4. Texas will host number 14 West Virginia on ESPN here coming up at the top of the hour. I actually have this. Chat was saying Texas was a 5-point favorite. I actually have this as a West Virginia -1.5 is what I'm seeing. So maybe the line has changed, which would mean that West Virginia is favored by a 1.5, unless the missing player there has significantly altered that. Texas at 9-1, West Virginia at 9-3. Wow, that would be a good game to watch to turn on right after once Duke is done. Let's see, Texas's last 5 wins. They beat Kansas at Kansas 84-59. Holy moly! I guess I haven't been following. Wait, has Kansas? No, Kansas has played more than 2 games. That's Kansas's only loss so far this season. Looks like Kansas beat West Virginia and then lost to Texas. Wow. Oh, it's their second loss. They lost to Gonzaga right off the get. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. Is it at home? Oh no, it's at West Virginia. I don't know if they're allowing students in West Virginia or not, but so like the whole concept of like home court advantage is kind of like thrown out the window. I don't really like these games could be all played at neutral courts for all I'm concerned. It's basically the exact same thing. Kind of like how the NCAA tournament is going to be all in a bubble in Indianapolis. That was announced over the holiday break there, which is bizarre to say the least. If you're a student that like imagine playing all the way to the end. Not that you'd like complain if you won the national championship, but it's like a month of like being in that bubble, which is extensive. Yeah. Back to our quick stat check here. I mean, rebounds kind of even. Rebounds 14 for Duke, 11 for Wake Forest. There's not much that really stands out. I mean, Duke has led the majority of this game. Offensive rebounds, 4 for Duke, 2 for Wake. Let's check the turnovers here, because actually the turnovers are even at 9 apiece, which would be about 18 turnovers the entire game. It's a little high. If you were Duke, we kind of really want to try to keep that 12 or 13. Duke with the blocks. So where have the Duke with 6 steals, Wake with 4. The interesting piece to that here is, hold on, if I had a stats guy, they would just feed me this stat, but I have to find it myself. Actually, both teams, so Wake Forest averages 10 steals per game, is ranked 7th in the country. Duke averages 9.5 steals per game, which is ranked 18th. So the fact that we are seeing I would actually expect, we're sort of on pace here, right? For the steals, Wake Forest with 4 at half, Duke with 6. If you just double them, you get the 8 and 12. So you're pretty close. Both teams kind of prolific there, managing to pick the other's pocket. Wake with more points off turnovers, 13, and to Duke's 7. Duke so far winning in the paint, even though Mark Williams started the game, got 2 fouls, and then just really hasn't played at all in the first half. That which is unfortunate. And fouls, so 7 and 8, which we will carry over there. Yeah, so actually a pretty even game across the board. Wake Forest has just had less shots. 10 of 21 to Duke's 15 of 28. Some of that is a bit on the offensive rebounds. Some of that is a bit on the steals, but all in all, we are in a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Gonzaga is going to choke come March Madness. I actually, Coy, I actually agree. I have a long-running conspiracy theory that really the only reason Gonzaga gets their number 1 seeds is the fact that the NCAA tournament committee needs to put a 1 seed in the West, and there's no one else to give it to except Gonzaga, which I guess they have been consistently good in the regular season, but was it last year they went to play 2 road games, true road games, non-conference, against UNC and one other one I can't quite remember now, but they lost in both, and so I think that piece is telling. So if you can't, if a highly ranked team like that can't win on the road, true road game, against a ranked opponent, I am incredibly sus, as we would say, of their actual chances come March. But they power to them if they can prove me wrong. Usually I don't pick them much past the Sweet 16 or even the first weekend actually in my brackets. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't. I always think it's funny when somebody I see a bracket and has Gonzaga going all the way. I was like, you realize that the history is not on your side there. That is going to be a tough sell. Let's just make sure we get the individual stats here correct, and we'll be ready to go for the second half. Should be about 3 minutes before we come out of the halftime locker room here. 7 points for Mucius. Dave Williams actually has credited with 7. This is Carter Witt's got 8, so it was a little bit off on that one. Johnson with 1. 2. Hold on, this one is. Oh, I'm actually missing a Wake Forest player. Wow. Go figure. This is going to be Adams. There, just to get the fouls right. 2 on, yep. And then the foul situation for the Blue Devils, make sure you're caught up on that. And we are good to go. Foul situation for Duke, 2 for Wendell Moore. And 2 for Jamin, actually, there's my missing foul. And then 2 on Williams and 2 on Hurt. So the fouls kind of congregated, kind of collated there between Moore, Brakefield, Hurt, and Williams. And the ESPN stat was wrong for those watching on the stream. Matthew Hurt does not have 12 points. He has 11. DJ Stewart has 12 points, actually, here. 12 points by Stewart to not only lead Duke, but also all scorers. And Hurt spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half. Actually, only played 13 minutes of that half. And is a very prolific 11 points in about 4 minutes there right off the get-go. Then the Gonzaga-Baylor game, getting canceled doesn't really help their case. And West Virginia has been the only team kind of close to beating them. Actually, I haven't gotten a chance to watch much of Gonzaga, but which is bizarre, because given West Coast, I think I'll be able to watch some of them, especially in conference. At least I'm in the same time zone, which makes it slightly easier. Because if you're on the East Coast, those Gonzaga games are tipping at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, which is just, yeah. 4-3 Texas there in the early going. We got some folks in chat. I don't mind if you guys want to put the Texas West Virginia score periodically in chat from time to time. Feel free. This should be, yes, we are focused on Duke and the current game at hand, but happy to have all college basketball fans, and we can discuss and y'all are more than welcome to discuss the vast college basketball landscape. So, again, if you need to jump in and watch the game itself, jump in on the Discord, and then jump back here in chat on the YouTube side of things. Much appreciated, everybody, for joining us here this afternoon as we are getting ready to tip the second half. Pretty even half of basketball here. Once again, Wake Forest trying to get its first win in Cameron in 23 years. And they have come close in the past. Remember, was it 2 years ago? There was the final shot that rimmed out as time expired and Duke got saved. That was the Brandon Childress shot there. Happened on was that the Zion Williamson team, I think, that happened to? In any case, Wake has been close, but hasn't been able to seal the deal. Yeah, that was the Zion team. Thought so. My memory is not completely gone. So when he was out, that's right. That's why. Yeah. Again, here are the stats for the first half. Duke just getting some more shots up. That's why we've got the lead. Wake Forest trying to get that back on the free throw line at 9 of 10. And we have resumed play here, and Wake Forest's first shot is going to rim out. Carter Witt there with the attempt and the runner in the lane, but can't quite get it to go. And so the first shot from Wake coming out of the half is an empty one. Duke looks pretty good here. The final 4 minutes of the first. Matthew Hurt going to pick up right where he left off, and that is a Matthew Hurt three-pointer right off the get-go. Good to see Hurt back into the action and getting things going. As we like to say here on Real Life, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second are when games are won and lost. Duke's got to come out of the locker room strong here. That is great defense by Brakefield, who makes his Wake player just take a really tough shot. But unfortunately, the rebound is going to go to Wake. This turnaround by Oguama is good. That was pretty decent defense, though. I'm not really going to complain much on that one. Oguama's going to come up with 2 and still a 5-point margin. And that is going to be a foul on Oguama, as Matthew Hurt was cutting into the paint. Here's the replay here. Oguama spins left. Brakefield doesn't quite follow, isn't quite fast enough with the feet. But Oguama going to go to the bench here early in the second, because that is his third foul. Duke inbounding on baseline out of bounds. And DJ Stewart playing point for the Blue Devils at this time. 3 guards and 2 forwards. And that is DJ Stewart just throwing the ball out of bounds. Again, looking a little out of sorts there. And that's the kind of stuff that I think we'll see Duke clean up as the season progresses. 10 turnovers for the Blue Devils. We're probably going to be somewhere in the realm of 18 if I had to guess. One thing that would be really nice to see as the season progresses is to see the turnover count go down, which we have not. In any case, it's Davian Williamson working on Brakefield. He's going to try to go right, and this is Masood's going to take a 3-point shot, and Masood's going to hit from 3. A 3-point shot for Wake Forest. Masood's now hit 2 of those. And he's got 7 points. Brakefield now trying to drive on Masood, gets the ball, loses the ball, and he's going to be charged with a foul. That was a silly foul as he throws Witt to the floor. That's definitely a foul on Hurt. That's Hurt's third foul. No question about it. I mean, it's good hustle, but it's sort of a boneheaded play. That is frustrating. Is the Duke game on ACC Network? Yes, it is. The reason is because the Texas-West Virginia game is on ESPN. So that's a travel. No, that's a travel! What? What is this? Wait a second. This is just bizarre. Somehow somebody from Wake got teed up? Oh my god. By the way, I hate this ref. This guy's terrible. They're going to give a foul to Musius, a technical foul, and Matthew Hurt's going to take technical free throws? This is bizarre. I mean, not that I mind free points, I just don't understand why. Like, is this Jamie Lucky again just doing his thing? Like, what the hell is this? Like, okay, by the way, it's definitely a double hop there, which is a travel. Okay. Oh, Musius goes over Brakefield. I see. I see. He taunts Brakefield, that's why. So it was a technical foul for taunting. Okay, so that play I agree with. The whole like jump stop, double hop madness there that gets called a block is just BS. That one doesn't make any sense to me at all. 42-41 Blue Devils, 7:42 here to go in the second half. The lead for Duke was 5 at halftime, is now 1. And nice cross-court pass by, wow, okay, never mind at all. I'm just not even going to finish the sentence because that three-pointer was awful by Moore. It was a pretty pass, and it was just a terrible shot. Wake Forest with a chance to at least, well, tie at this point, and they're going to call a foul on Wendell. That foul's on the floor. Actually, it's not a shooting foul. So Wake Forest will have to re-inbound here. And Wake's going to inbound. Oh, Moore. Careful, buddy. Careful, buddy. As Musius hits the jump shot. Moore gambled on the steal, which allows Musius just to cut inside, find his spot there close to the paint, and put up a nice 12-footer. And Wake Forest is all of a sudden ahead. 43-42. Demon Deacons here. Matthew Hurt's got to get something. Oh, that is a beautiful cut by Jeremy Roach. That is a beautiful cut by Jeremy Roach and a great find by Matthew Hurt here at the 16:50 mark. Spectacular little two-man game. Witt now working on Hurt. Masood now working on Hurt. Masood's going to drive in. Great hands by Hurt. That's an easy pick. Hurt driving this. He's going to take it himself. He's going to lose it himself, and that's a terrible possession. Wow. I think Hurt was like, do I shoot this or do I pass this? And he couldn't decide, and as a result, it's just a turnover, which means it's just a wasted possession because it was basically a 4-on-3. So Duke can't get it done in transition. Witt again with a cross-court pass, trying to get it down low, and that pass is absolutely intercepted. Antonio's pass picked off by Hurt. That pass never had a shot. 12 turnovers by each team. Getting a little sloppy here at the start of the second. Wake thought about bringing the double. Wendell Moore, that turnaround jump shot should have counted, man. It's going to be a foul against Wake Forest. I think that's going to go against Antonio. That would be his first. In any case, we have a stoppage of play. When we come back, Duke is going to be inbounding under the baseline. And we'll see if we get another quick shot, maybe another quick three-pointer. That play did work for us in the first. Remember, that was a Jeremy Roach three-pointer right off a baseline inbounds play. What's Duke's record in the ACC? Duke's record, yes, 2-0. 2-0 with 2 games not played. So basically wins over Boston College and Notre Dame, not played against Pitt and Florida State, and then the possible result here today, still to be determined. Duke 44, Wake 43. This feels like a bit of a low-scoring game, kind of like where we left this. Remember, it was like 40-35, so maybe if Duke maybe gets into the 80s, but I don't know. It feels this start of the second half has felt a little sloppy. A little sloppy. And actually, Wake Forest doing a pretty good job holding teams to low point totals, right? We talked they do have 2 losses in the ACC against Georgia Tech and UVA, held both teams to 70. The offense just couldn't get it done. But actually, they have the 22nd ranked scoring defense in the country. Not just the ACC. There's not 22 schools in the ACC, but anyway. 76-67 to the final is the prediction the Duke way. That's probably true. But yeah, Wake Forest allowing an average of 60.8 points per game, and actually 3rd overall in the ACC for opponent scoring at 63 points per game. So at this point, so let's see, if we are at 40, we're at halftime we were doing better than that. We had 40 points at halftime. Only 44 now, but we were definitely slated to beat the Wake Forest average defense. A question here from the chat is, MS, is Tepe or Williams playing much, or Matt at the 5? So Williams did get the start. Oh, God, not another buzzer beater. That would be miserable. Williams did get the starting nod. He picked up 2 early fouls and then didn't really see the floor again. And Tepe has just not played. Just not been in the game. He wasn't in the game against Boston College, and he's not in the game today. So yeah, Williams got the starting nod, got 4 minutes of action, and actually did not start the second half. So it was a bit of a lineup change there. And so he hasn't seen the floor at all. So really, it's Duke. Duke has been primarily playing the 3-guard, 2-forward lineup, and Goldwire should have been fouled on that play, but no whistle. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, I expect we're probably like maybe a week, 2 weeks from getting Johnson back. That would be big for Duke. Wendell Moore working on Mucius here. Mucius is going to go cross court, and Wake's just going to swing this thing. Williamson going to dive in, and he's going to get 2 points. That's a good dive to the bucket as Wake is now ahead, 45-44. From the corner is Jeremy Roach for 3. That shot looked pretty good. Offensive rebound to Wendell Moore, Wendell! What? Spun himself away from the basket. Wait a second. That just doesn't... Oh, man. Where is the 25 points that you scored against Boston College? Like, if you needed to get your confidence back, that was the game to do it. And then follow it up with this game, which should be on the easier side of things. And it's just not happening. Matthew Hurt, a quick 3-pointer, and Hurt drills it. Again, that 3-point, that baseline inbounds play to find the open 3-pointer has worked twice today. Once for Roach and once for Hurt. It actually would have worked for Roach again, but he just happened to miss the shot. And then actually Wendell coming up here with a steal. Up ahead is Goldwire and Goldwire. Thank you. Chat, Goldwire made the layup. It's a miracle. That's my snide comment for the day. J-Wire finally makes the layup. Oh, man. Duke extending a bit of a lead here as Williamson going to dive in, and Williamson's going to get 2 points there. He's got 11, putting himself in the double digits. LOL, we sound similar watching more, yeah. So Cato Dunlap's here saying with like the Coach K use more players to find a more cohesive group. So like I agree with this, and we were talking. Somebody was asking like how the Duke team looks, and we were saying, well, that's a larger conversation. Usually those non-conference games that we have, like Duke and K are very willing to experiment with lots of that should be a charge. What? Yo, Goldwire was set up like a century before Masood ever started the drive. What are we talking about here? What is this? Oh, he's in the restricted area. God damn it. Son of a gun. God damn. That is annoying. So as I was saying, Duke and K very willing to experiment with lineup changes in the non-conference. Actually, going into the game against BC, Duke had not started the same starting five in any game this season. And I actually think, again, the canceled games and just not having they just haven't been able to find the playing time. But I would have loved to see more playing time for folks like Mark Williams and Henry Coleman, especially because that gives us options to like go big when we need it. I think Brakefield has played himself into the lineup. He had some very good games early on in the season, so he's earned minutes as a result of his play, both on the offensive and the defensive end. But the few minutes that folks like Williams and Coleman have had, they haven't been able to capitalize as much. So actually, in the absence of Jalen Johnson, it's been Brakefield that has been soaking up the minutes as a beautiful three-point shot by Goldwire goes. Duke really needed that one there. Yeah. And Williamson now working on DJ Stewart. Stewart got kind of beat off the dribble there, but good help defense by Moore. As Duke now Moore one-on-one against Musius here on the right-hand side. Duke in a bit of a zone, actually, and Jordan Goldwire gambles there on the steal. Musius with the turnaround jump shot, no good. Rebound down to the Blue Devils here. Blue Duke pushing at the moment. And then slowing up the whole thing as Coach K will set up a play. That was exciting for about 2 seconds, and then just nothing. Over there, it's a beautiful pass by Goldwire to Roach in the corner. Roach has had that shot twice! Jeremy! Misses it, comes up empty again. Oh, damn it. As Wake Forest and Jalen Johnson, the Wake Forest Jalen Johnson, comes up with a three, and we're tied at 52. All right, now I'm starting to get a little, like, annoyed. Because now it's like 12 minutes left in the game, right? Like, we should have, like... This is getting a little stressful. All right. From the top of the key, Roach, finally. Thank you for the third time. He's got that one. Jeremy. Apparently he can't shoot it from the left wing, but if he's at the top of the key, he can drill it. He's hit 2 from the same spot so far tonight. 2 of 6 from 3, and the 3 come from the right at the top of the key there. The 2 3-pointers come from right at the top. And, oh, they're going to call a foul. That is a... Oh, Jeremy. Jeremy bumps Masood as Masood takes a 3-pointer, and Jamie Lucky is going to be... He's just going to call that a cheap foul. This ref... God. I have nothing nice to say about the ref. I'm just not going to do it. So, Roach has got 1 foul, and Masood's going to be at the line shooting 3 freebies when we get back. Wow. Chat's been going off here about Big Ten versus ACC. This is, I got a lot to catch up on. Actually, the Big Ten teams and national titles, right, in recent memory, Michigan's gotten a crack at it, failed. Michigan State and Izzo, probably the most consistent team from the Big Ten to reach a Final Four. Not necessarily win it. He's won it twice, I think. They get to the end, but then they can't sort of close the deal. Michigan is undefeated, but they probably ain't legit. I love it. What is the wager here? Oh, actually, on the Duke side of things, been a lot of chatter back here in Chicago that DJ should be at the point. Does it seem like Coach K has been playing him at the 1 or just randomly bringing it up? Actually, the most that has been played at the point is probably Goldwire. And then he seems to use. I don't actually. DJ Stewart seems to be the preferred shooting guard at the 2. And then if you're going to replace, like, if it's going to be Goldwire and Roach that are sharing the point, but I'm not opposed to having DJ Stewart run point because he can create his own shot. So, and he's like really good off the dribble. So I'm like, if he were to play the point, I think that gives some more options there. I haven't quite seen that from Roach, but yeah. Yes, Wisconsin did lose to us in 2015. That was the chance. That was the chance there, that Kaminsky team. Which was, I like having rewatched that national title game a couple times, I was like, wow, that was a really good Wisconsin team. That was a really good Wisconsin team that we beat. So I'd say we were fortunate to beat a really good team. I'm actually a little bit behind here on the stream. Let's catch this thing up. It's 55 to 57. So as a Goldwire here, DJ Stewart, right place, right time. And I'm going to assume that Masood got his 3 freebies, and that's why it's 55. And then DJ Stewart going to get the and 1. He's got 15. However, the reason I don't necessarily think that DJ Stewart plays the point is because if he's not playing point, he can just, like, he's got so many other, like, places he could be on the floor. He just, like, with the ball, he plays pretty well off the ball. Like, right there, on the offensive side, he's just down in the paint, like, scrapping for a rebound, right? Like, and yeah, this is going to be another foul against Oguama here. That might be his 4th, if that is against him. Yeah, I don't. The Big Ten, yeah, it might have definitely strong this year. It might have. Actually, the ACC has not had the most teams in the tournament these last few years, right? It's kind of been the staples of like Duke, UNC, Florida State, UVA, and that's a terrible, terrible turnover by Roach. But then like the top of the ACC has been strong these last couple of years, but then like the middle and the bottom is just like, what's going on here? There's nothing there. So, which has opened the gate. Oh, nice, Joey. Is that Joey? Joey Baker coming off the bench. He's got 2. Louisville in there as well. So yeah, you have like these like 5 to 6 staples of the ACC, and like the conference is what, like 14 deep at this point, and then like the next 8 just like don't matter as far as the tournament itself is concerned. So like other teams have definitely been able to get, other conferences have definitely been able to get more teams into the tournament. Whether they've been successful or not is a different story. I still think that like the top of the ACC probably has had more success. I thought Joey was Matthew Hurt there for a second. Yeah, kind of that flash there to the basket. Nice aggressive take by Joey. Apparently, according to Coach Shire, again, part of the post-game comments from the BC game, is that Joey's still been doing really well in practice. So, making the most of his minutes here, as Wake Forest at the line is going to get 1. Wake Forest kind of still living at the free throw line. Way fast. And the 2, Jalen Johnson, the Wake Forest Jalen Johnson, gets 2 more. So still a 3-point game here with just over 10 minutes to go. I don't know about the rest of the Duke fans in chat, but I am slightly nervous about this, or my level of anxiety is starting to increase. I would really love a patented Duke run right now to just go 8-0 and kind of blow this one open, but I'm going to patiently wait for it as Baker tries to be incredibly fancy with that play, and the ref says that is out on Duke, so that's a turnover. All right, that's not going to be what starts the run. That's unfortunate. Masood is going to take 3 again. I mean, the guy's been hot, but he can't get that one to go. As Baker comes down with a rebound. Nobody from Wake Forest even close to be able to pick that one up. And Jordan Goldwire going to set things up. Again, Jordan Goldwire here at the point. Gives this one to DJ Stewart. DJ Stewart just going to take his man off the dribble. That's exactly why. That's exactly when we were addressing that question of DJ Stewart at the point. Like, if you did play him at the point, he could do... It gives you a lot of options because he's able to, like, just beat his man off the dribble. So if he is handling the ball, he can either take it himself or find a teammate. But again, I do kind of like DJ Stewart playing off the ball because he can just be anywhere. And he seems to just have a nose for it. His good instincts that he's shown this year. Right place, right time, especially on a lot of rebounds, just cleaning up broken plays. So I don't particularly mind if he's not at the point, but he's certainly capable of playing it. Wilkins there, and Wake Forest is going to come up empty on this trip. All right, here's this Duke run that we need. We got a 5-point lead. If Duke's going to put their stamp on the game, it's going to be right now. It's going to be right now. How is North Carolina overrated if they're not ranked? They can't technically be. They're not like rated at all. Stewart's 3-pointer is no good. Wendell skying in for the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will hold it with the Blue Devils. All right, so this has got to be the run. This has got to be the run. It's got to be right here. We need a 5-0 run to put this thing up by 10 points at the under 8 timeout, and then I'm feeling much better about this. So I know the game is close for those of you joining us in chat on the YouTube side of things. Welcome in. Happy 2021, and hope your Saturday is going well so far. Jump over into the Discord if you need to watch the game. We've got a stream going there for subscribers of the channel. And then Wendell trying to penetrate here. Can't get it. Pass back outside to Hurt, and Hurt. Oh, man, that Hurt shot looked good. That Hurt shot looked good, but it doesn't go. God damn. Wake Forest going to get back to Masood. The Masood 3-pointer. That shot is off the back iron. Rebound down to Wendell. So Duke manages to dodge a bullet there. Wendell trying to take his man one-on-one. Nice Euro step. Wendell can't quite finish. Matthew Hurt scrapping for the rebound down low. Still a scramble. Hurt comes up with it. Hurt going to find Wendell. No, Hurt's just going to finish himself. And that makes it 21 points for Matthew. What a possession for Matthew Hurt. It looked like he came up with like 3 different rebounds on that. That was sensational hustle. Like, that is, wow. And now Duke has its 7-point lead by the under 8 timeout. I'm feeling better about this. How many national championships does Wisconsin have? I think they have at least 1, actually. Or 2. I think they've definitely won it once. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Hurt definitely a lot less weak in the post. I mean, he put on like 15 to 20 pounds in the offseason. You better hope that he's like not a wimp down there and like getting banged out at like just, banged out of the post. Like, damn. That was an incredibly tough possession. And I think that like that's the Matthew Hurt progression in a nutshell. Because last year you wouldn't have seen that at all. And now he's the ACC's leading scorer. He's averaging 18.5 points a game. He's got 21 tonight, or this afternoon. Playing exceptionally well. He's been our most consistent player the entire season. And I didn't think I was going to say that at the start of the season. It was going to be, who's going to be Duke's best player right now? It's Matthew Hurt. Bar none. Oh man, we got some ACC the ACC Big Ten stuff in chat. Just play nice, but go for it. As long as nobody is we can defend the ACC. That's fine. Where is Augusto Capilot says, where is Jalen Johnson? Well, we have to make a distinction. There's the Jalen Johnson on the Wake Forest team. He's playing. Our Jalen Johnson on the Duke team is still injured. Probably about another week and a half, or maybe 2 weeks away. Yeah, he's still hurt. So, hurt with the infamous Duke foot injury, which apparently has become synonymous with the Duke program over the last several years. The undisclosed foot injury, where they won't actually tell us what it is, but it seems to hold our best player out every season. The Duke scoring so far, we have 4 Blue Devils in double figures. Roach with 10, Goldwire with 12, DJ Stewart with 17, and Matthew Hurt with 21. Moore has 2, Baker has 2, and that's it. Those are the only Blue Devils in the stat sheet. A little disappointed here that Brakefield isn't in the stat sheet. Because he has gotten minutes. He's gotten 17 minutes of play, a bit less here in the second half. And so I would like to see Brakefield get some points. He has played well defensively, however. He's got 3 steals. And Hurt also has 3 steals. And Jordan Goldwire with 2. So I actually like Brakefield's defensive play has been great. Offensively, needs help. So. All right, let's resume here. We are at the under 8. Duke ahead by 8 points right now. A stop here and a bucket would be huge, but Williamson isn't going to let them do that as he jumps in and Matthew Hurt kind of gets pushed off the block there. So, 5-point game so far. Duke needing an answer. And Matthew Hurt's going to go for 3. That shot, no good. Great rebound by Jeremy Roach on the offensive glass here. Matthew Hurt's got to kick it back out, and he does. Down to DJ Stewart there at the bottom. Another offensive rebound for Hurt. Duke's going to get a 3rd chance at it. Again, chat was saying that they love the effort on the offensive glass. This possession has been sensational. It's 12 offensive rebounds here for Duke, and they're going to come up with it because that is Roach for 2. I thought he carried the ball there for a second, to be honest. That little tuck there, that was a little suspect, but in any case, I'll take it. Duke by 7. And Wake Forest on the verge of turning this thing over. They got to call a timeout, or the refs are going to save them here with a held ball. As Williamson hit the deck. I actually don't know if they would have even awarded the timeout because they didn't necessarily consider Wake Forest to have possession. But they should have tried it. Yeah. Wake Forest to inbound here right in front of their bench. And Williamson again. High screen there by Oguama. And Williamson is going to put up a prayer. Actually, the shot clock ran out on him. That's why. Shot clock runs out on Wake Forest, but the shot was off before the clock went off, so there's no stoppage in play. Duke's going to get the rebound, and Jordan Goldwire here at the point. Goldwire is going to try to take his man off the dribble, gets it outside to Moore, swing outside to Stewart, getting it down low to the block to Hurt. Wake Forest thinking about the double team, doesn't bring it. Hurt with the turnaround. Jump shot, silky smooth. That is a beautiful shot. Wow. And Duke now opening up with a 9-point lead. We smelled the run coming, and here it is. We asked for it, and our Duke players answered. Duke by 9. Williamson trying to get this in down low. Wake Forest does get the 2 points back. Oguama there. Still, right now, just trading buckets. I'll take it. Yep, Duke absolutely is stepping it up. They're stepping up the defensive pressure, but they're also playing really well offensively right now. It's good ball movement. As Roach right now, gets his man up in the air, finds DJ Stewart wide open in the corner. Stewart, you're on! Oh, come on. Another offensive board for Matthew Hurt. The guy's everywhere. Roach just can't hit the three and can't hit the ocean from three, but Goldwire with another offensive board, and Goldwire is in for more. Duke has owned the offensive glass, and it is absolutely playing off for Duke here as we now have the 9-point lead back, and we're at 70 points, which is where Georgia Tech and UVA won their games against Wake Forest. So this is looking pretty good here as we go here down the stretch. 5 minutes, 24 seconds left. Duke by 9, and Duke absolutely hammering the offensive glass at the moment. Let's get the stat on that, because just by watching the game, you're like, that is crazy. And it is. It is 14 offensive rebounds to 4 for Wake Forest, and the second chance points created off of those rebounds are 14. 14 points off 14 offensive rebounds here. And I think it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew Hurt here with the most. Hurt has 4 offensive rebounds. Hurt has 6 total rebounds. 4 of them are offensive rebounds. That's nuts. Goldwire's got 3 offensive rebounds. The team just doing a sensational job crashing the glass. Now, the flip side of that is, like, you can say, well, they just should have hit the shot in the first place. Yes. Like, okay. Sure. The ESPN scoreboard is off. Yes, it is off. It should be 70-61. Yeah, my live stats feed has 70-61. So I'm right and ESPN's wrong. There we go. Points for us. Again, since the game is relatively close, and if you're just joining us, jump into the Discord. If you need to find the game, there we got that going for you there. And let's see. Looking ahead here to Duke's schedule. I'm gonna do that. Looking ahead to Duke's schedule, we have a game against Virginia Tech on Tuesday. That game starts at 4 o'clock. Well, that game is too early, so won't be doing that one. And then when is the next? What? Actually, don't know. I thought there was going to be another Saturday game, but it doesn't look like it. Do we not have a game next weekend? That's bizarre. Men's golf. Wow, we might not have a game. For 2 weeks. Then we have a game against Louisville this following Saturday. Okay, I thought there was going to be a game next weekend, but there might not be. Patrick Lacena, is the game live on Discord? Yes, it is. Jump in. Make sure to like and subscribe, and then you can jump in on the Discord side of things. Do I think all freshmen except Jalen will return next season? We actually made predictions for all the freshmen. We have a video series on the channel that we did before the season where we made predictions for each of the different freshmen. And we said Jalen Johnson definitely, sort of our Duke crew said Jalen Johnson definitely goes. Based on performance, Stewart and Roach are high possibilities based on their recruitment status. I think based on what I've seen so far, I would say Stewart more leaning in that direction, Roach less in that direction. And then the remaining 3, that should have been a clean block, by the way. That is a terrible foul call against Matthew Hurt, who got it cleanly from behind. Then the other ones, Brakefield, Williams, and Coleman, are multi-year players. Yeah, are multi-year players. But yeah, kind of as Antikid was saying, DJ might leave. That's it, though. Right. So is it like the Roach and DJ ones were like, we were based on what we had seen before the season, we were kind of leaning in that direction. But I think now that it's been DJ Stewart is leaning more yes, and I would go the other way with Roach. So for now. And that is 62. So 1 free throw there for Wake. The swing out pass by Goldwire to DJ Stewart, and DJ with a nice spin move there, but he's going to get fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. Yeah, Hurt has 4 fouls yet again. Ryan Ching, thank you very much for subscribing on the YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Thought the alerts should have been set up. I don't know why they're not working. They're probably just delayed. Stewart at the free throw line will get 2 shots here. Both teams in the bonus going down the stretch, the final 4 minutes of the game, as DJ Stewart now has 18 points. I don't know if the timeout we just took counts as the under 4 media timeout. Let's hope it does, and then we don't have to take another timeout. DJ Stewart's second shot is no good. And the rebound to Masood for Wake Forest as Williamson brings this up the court. Williamson looking for Antonio, and wow, okay, that's Guama is done. So see ya, buddy. Offensive foul called against Wake Forest, which will turn this right back to Duke. And actually, we're not lucky enough to get the timeout to coincide with the media timeout, so we have to take a final timeout here. Basically, on this possession with Duke up 9, if you go down the floor and get at least a 2, I think the game's over. I want a Kyrie Duke jersey so bad. And why? The guy literally played like 10 games for us. And granted, I was there at the Michigan State game that he took the game over and won it. But like that was like the highlight. And then he came back in the NCAA tournament and it like didn't really work. It was like a little awkward. It just the NCAA tournament, it just didn't look right. He didn't quite integrate with the offense the way he had those first few games, which was unfortunate. But I mean, he's still a phenomenal player. But like, unfortunately, his Duke career was just a little short. Yeah. Do I live in Durham? No, I live in Seattle actually. So it is still 10:45 in the morning for me. This was a fun wake up here, right off the get for the Blue Devils. My favorite Duke player of all time, probably gonna have to, like, I think I have to stay on brand and go with the Shire jersey in the back. That's the jersey I got when I was a freshman at Duke back in 2008, and I've had it ever since. So I think probably the Shire jersey, just because I watched those games. I was in Cameron for those games. Like, obviously you could say like, yeah, the Christian Laettners, the JJ Redicks of the world, but like I didn't get to see them play like live, right? So that's like fun. So of the players that I got to see and be in school with and around, and like that 2010 national title I'll never forget that night. So I'm a big Shire fan. I was like super supportive that he got the head coaching nod on Tuesday too. I'm really happy that he got the win. I'm really happy that he got the win. Yeah. So. All right, we're going to jump forward here and get through these commercials as this should be back. Stream for some reason does tend to lag every now and then, so we're just going to skip it forward. And yeah, keeping tabs on the Texas-West Virginia game there. It looks like West Virginia, who was favored by about 1.5 points, and is at home. TJ Stewart, ACC Freshman of the Year. Well, the way he's playing so far, he's making a case for it. I think a lot of people thought that was going to be Jalen Johnson, but here with the injury, we'll have to see, especially how the minutes come back. The little give-and-go action. Matthew Hurt, there's a three-pointer, and ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to be the dagger. That we said if after that offensive foul, if Duke comes out of this timeout, they go in and they get at least 2 points, the game is over. Matthew Hurt got us 3. I think we can all breathe a little easier now. And that is Hurt, who has just been pouring it on as Wake Forest comes up empty on that possession, and Wake Forest just doesn't have the offense to finish this thing off here. Again, they kind of stalled out against Georgia Tech and UVA, couldn't get out of the 60s offensively, and it looks like that's going to happen again tonight or this afternoon. They're going to get stuck in the 60s here as Duke has put up 74. Wendell Moore's going to try a crazy three-point shot, and DJ Stewart's going to get the offensive rebound, which was really the only chance that shot ever had of going in, was to get an offensive rebound, and he is fouled. And so DJ Stewart will go to the line, shooting this should be a 1-and-1, unless they call that a shooting foul, which probably it should be because he was trying to put it back. So, yeah. So, favorite game of Duke UNC? Oh my God. There's several of them. It's not the one my freshman year that I was in Cameron for. That was a disaster. That was almost really good, except the fact that it was sorry, DJ Stewart of the line 19. That was Greg Paulus' senior year, and we were up by 5 points at halftime, and then Ty Lawson and Tyler Hansbrough came out of the locker room and just wiped us off the floor. That was really depressing. The Rivers UNC game is really good. The comeback, yeah, that was the comeback game. That was the Seth Curry Rivers game. I mean the overtime game that the 2015 team won is another highlight. That's a really good one. I also remember the 2010 team. It really wasn't a good game, but it was just kind of set the tone. The 2010 team blew out UNC in the final game of the regular season by 20 or something. It was just a killing. And then they went on to win the national title. So that's a fun one. Last year's game, obviously, the double buzzer beaters was probably one of the most memorable games for Duke UNC in a long time. And I'm trying, that was the last memorable buzzer beater before that, before the Rivers shot. It's funny because when we were in school, Rivers was sort of some people loved him, some people hated him, just within even within the student body. But once he hit that shot, it was just all right, everything's cool with Austin Rivers. If you hit a shot like that to beat UNC, you're just yep, you're done. Your Duke legacy has been cemented. And yeah. Oh, the first stream was the game last year. That was a big game for us last year. We've had several. Yeah, that was a huge game. Oh, Quinn, favorite Duke player is Kyle Singler. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, Kyle Singler was a good one. I mean, Nolan Smith was great too. Again, that 2010 team has been great. We have Tyus Jones here in chat saying Tyus Jones, best point guard since has been the best point guard, was the best point guard probably since the John Shire Nolan Smith combo, to be honest, since that 2010 team. And it shows because we won another national title, because you win titles in March based on coaching and guard play. And the guard play hasn't been there for Duke in the last several years, but it definitely was for those teams. Mucius can't hit here. Masood tries to come up with a rebound. When do we play UNC? It's a good question. Those two games aren't. The first game isn't until February. I'm trying to think. The actual. It's a February-March kind of thing. That's Winston-Salem. And they're both on Saturday. It's a UVA game. That's wow. The late February schedule is freaking loaded. February 20th is UVA. February 27th is Louisville. Okay, the game at Chapel Hill is the 6th of March, but That's the ACC tournament. Then it's got to be in early February. Coral Gables. Okay, February 6th is the first game. That's at Duke against UNC, so it's about a month away. And then March, and then a month later is the game at Carolina. So first game that is at Duke, and then at Carolina. It's usually easier to tell when there are students around because you know how long they've been tenting, and that's kind of how I know when the UNC games are, based on how long people have been tenting, and another sensational play by DJ Stewart. Like, why not? Why not? The assist by Goldwire, and DJ Stewart now put himself into 21-point land. I mean, the flashy highlight play just coming across the court there. This kid has just done it all. 26 points tonight for Matthew Hurt, 21 for DJ Stewart. Really much better effort here by Duke in the second half. This game was close. It was a 5-point game at halftime. Wake Forest got it to... Actually, no. Wake Forest was leading at points in the second half. And then Duke just turned it on really at the 8-minute mark. The effort on the offensive glass made the difference today. Wendell Moore couldn't repeat his performance from BC. He has only 2 points so far today. Actually make it 4 as he scores right there at the end. But it was definitely Hurt and DJ Stewart carrying the team, as we've come to expect, actually. So Wake Forest going to get an easy 2. Doesn't really matter at this point, just trading buckets, and I think they're going to take a final timeout. 27/28 seconds left in the game. Yeah, I hope Jalen will be back before the Duke UNC game. I think so. I mean, that's significant time. I would expect, if he's not back within the next 2 to 3 weeks, then I would, even less than that, actually. Yeah. Ant's prediction was close. What was it was 83 something, right? It's pretty close. Yeah. So 76-67. Yeah, no, not too far off. Yeah, not too far off. So yeah, I think our perception of Jalen Johnson is really skewed off that first game where he went off with 20 plus points, and we're like, oh yeah, he is everything that he's built up to be. This is great. And then he gets injured, and we're like, okay. And then the next game he just doesn't score as the next couple, it just doesn't look as good. And then yeah. All right. The final score is going to be 79-68. Duke is going to move to 3-0 in the ACC. Both teams are just going to give themselves a socially distanced wave, and that is going to be it. 19-19. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to post some highlights here in a little bit. Let's grab some lunch and then some highlights. A pretty good performance here by Duke. I don't think we're going to be able to do the game on Tuesday, but stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll come back. If there's a weekend game next week, we'll probably do that one. And jump in again. We'll probably have it on the Discord too as well. If you're cheering for either West Virginia or Texas, good luck to you as well later on. And yes, the football. Hopefully, if you won your fantasy football this season, congratulations. I was leading until the final week, and then my team just completely bailed on me, and it was terrible. So I left with absolutely nothing, which is really sad. But that's how life is sometimes. In any case, good win for our Blue Devils here this afternoon. 79-68. The leading scorer is Matthew Hurt with 26 points, DJ Stewart with 21, Jordan Goldwire with 14, and Jeremy Roach with 12. A good much better than what we saw in Boston College. And thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Cheers, and go Duke.